Hmm. Welcome to Whispers. With the unfolding of events, it is clear and glaring that the minority politicians and the elites that are holding on to power, they are ready to slug it out with the masses. Politicians versus the people. Whenever the history of the eventual collapse of this country is written, Nigeria's commercial mercenary politicians will surely take the lion's share of the blame. It is just unimaginable that any group of human beings anywhere on earth could be as insensitive, as unfeeling, as wrong-headed, as selfish, and as self-centered as the politicians who are the ordinary people of Nigeria. Who the ordinary people of Nigeria had or have been unlucky to share space with. As we speak, hundreds of thousands of innocent men, women, and children have been brutally displaced, houses burnt, means of livelihood destroyed, life and living virtually paralyzed. And yet, the Nigerian politicians are carrying on as if nothing is amiss. They are behaving as if they are in a movie, as if they are in a movie theater, savoring the humor-soaked antics of actor and producer Mr. Latin. If not because our politicians are wicked and selfish, how can anybody in his or right senses be talking of elections or preparing for elections or piling up palliatives meant for the poor in this time and time when people are in unprecedented pain and state of helplessness and helplessness? How can any rational person be talking of Nigeria's ethnic identification program, a notorious cash cow in this period of insecurity and COVID-19 pandemic? How can any sensible person be considering reintroduction of toll gates when our slaughter highways are awash with sun-dry kidnappers and herdsmen murderers? Didn't it ever occur to whoever woke up from the wrong side of the bed to suggest toll gates that vehicles that would be in the queue will be sure subcharged for marauding killers and abductors, whether in the daytime or at night? Rather than compel those in position to come together and find solution to the nagging issue of national question, politicians are more concerned about going for the second term, the third term, securing a seat in the Senate. Now a retirement home of failed governors, or running for governorship in a country where over 99% of the states cannot pay workers' salaries and unemployment is over 60%. All that politicians are interested in is the avenue for stealing and plundering of the Commonwealth, no more, no less. This writer would like to go on record as putting all the causes and the pathway leading to Nigeria being a notoriously failed state on the greedy shoulders of the politicians. Even the so-called banditry, the terrorist herdsmen, kidnapping, mindless murderers, zero looting of the national and state treasuries, and mind-boggling nepotism and crass impunity are all due to the actions or inactions of the politicians. A simple example is the most dread Boko Haram, which was created by politicians in Borno and whose activities have drenched Nigerians in blood and homogeneous agony and humongous agony. Another politician claimed that his political party brought in military men from Chad, Niger, Mali for the presidential election in 2015, and those recently theoretically kidnapped in Niger State said their heavily armed abductors claimed that State was created by politicians. We have politicians who are on record as saying that the Nigerian state should not fight Boko Haram insurgents, and that any attack on Boko Haram was an attack on the North. And the same politicians are those in control of our treasury and will decide on what to do with the terrorists. Nigeria did not create Islam or Christianity, so it is balderdash to blame any bogus cultural or traditional aberration of any community in Nigeria on religion. The Alimandiri, a system that cruelly and deliberately deprives and impoverishes innocent children, cannot be blamed on any religion. The reckless act of breeding children like pigs and throwing such unkept children out into the inclement elements cannot be blamed on any religion. Only those who believe they can benefit politically and sociologically by making the majority poor and malleable will encourage such an inhumane system. Nigerian politicians keep criminally mute when all sorts of inanities are being hit on the citizens they are meant to serve and whose collective interests they were elected to protect. And this is the root cause of all our tragedies as a people and as a country. Nigerian politicians are collaborators in crime, in perfidy, in inefficiency, in incompetence, in the glamourization of intolerable impunity and irritating nepotism. Whether you are a president, a governor, a senator, a member of the House of Representatives or Assembly, a chairman of a local government, or even a councillor, a politician is a politician. And whether you are in uniform as a member of the armed or security forces, for as long as you're discharging a political function or role, you are a politician. We have blamed the 1999 Constitution enough. It is dubbed the military constitution, whereas when it was crafted by politicians in military uniform. Be that as it may, no amount of tinkering or tampering with that document can serve the purpose of a people's constitution. Politicians are the creation of a constitution. It should not and cannot be the other way around. A knife does not carve its own handle. A child cannot birth his own father. It is the Constitution that dictates how society and its constituents should behave. Politicians and political office holders who are direct beneficiaries of a constitution cannot be the framers and writers of the constitution. Parliamentarians make laws in accordance with the dictates of an existing constitution handed down from the unambiguous collective will of the people. The greatest disservice politicians have done and continue to harm Nigerians with is their unequaled timidity and connivance with evil. For as long as they keep their transient but very lucrative position and post, the entire country can go hungry and burn. Everybody in the country, including virtually all the politicians up to the level of the vice president, is crying for the solution to choking insecurity. Everybody says state and local police will solve at least 60% of the insecurity challenges. And yet, the same politicians cannot compel the politician-in-chief to use his executive order to make it happen. It is bizarre. The same politicians kept mute when the president opened the Nigerian borders to Fulani from all over Africa to pour into the country. Sans visas, sans passports. Politicians have succeeded in creating an assemblage of politicians, a political arena without government. Imagine the recklessness of a Senate president blaming governors for insecurity, knowing fully well that the governors are mere decoration posters as far as the security architecture of the country is concerned. Or a minister of defense, for that matter, inciting the unarmed civilians to defend themselves against the ferocious monstrosity of AK-47 wielding marauders. Can politicians be more anti-people and anti-common sense? The current Senate is by far the worst, the most self-serving, the most partisan, the most docile in all of the history of Nigeria. They have been cowed down by the equally incompetent and nepotistic presidency, which in itself has been cowed down by the cow constituency. All we can do is to beg the people not to resort to stoning their career politicians. They have been burning down properties whenever they are pushed to the wall. They should never resort to burning the politicians perceived as oppressors. They will. The time is near. They will burn the politicians. They will be burnt down. Because once the people are ready to take back the power, the politicians will be roasted. There you have it, guys. Politicians versus the people. The politician says, and so I had to sleep right here until I come your way again. Bye.